guys, what is up? How is everyone doing? My name is Ebony and I'm a registered naturopathic nutritionist and I specialise in acne. Today we are talking all about face mapping and acne, and basically what this means is that when you have breakouts come up on the face, if they're always coming up in a particular area, that can sometimes indicate what could be going on a little bit deeper within the body. I did actually do a video on this a couple of years ago, but that was way before I'd even finished studying or even had my clinic up and running. So now that I am, a qualified naturopathic nutritionist and I have my clinic, I thought it'd be good to tie in now some observations that I see and things that I commonly come up in clinic that I notice play a big role with where people get breakouts on the skin. So I really hope today's video is helpful and also interesting. We're gonna start off with the forehead. Now the forehead primarily I see is linked to digestion. So this is the first thing I would be questioning around. So, what are your bowel habits like? So when I see people get a lot of little tiny bumps on the forehead, I commonly see it linked with constipation. So, making sure you're going to the toilet every single day, you've got a really good healthy bowel movement is very important and will play a big role with the forehead. Also looking at how your digestion is in general, how are you breaking down foods? Also, are you reacting only to foods? Like, do you get a lot of bloating, any other accompanying symptoms, which is going to indicate you've got a bit of an issue there with your gastrointestinal system. So yeah, forehead is a big gut health basically focus for me. Another thing also that I see with the forehead is if people have a diet high in processed foods, so especially with lots of trans fats and saturated fats, and they have got much more of an inflammatory diet because of that. You see it come up in the forehead much more. This usually presents in either just general whiteheads and inflamed acne, but also those tiny little bumps as well. And I'd also check to see what kind of carbohydrates they're choosing as well. I tend to see in my clinic that people who eat much more of the simple carbohydrates, so like the white pastas, white flours, white rice, things like that, can also affect those little bumps on the forehead. So that's just like a little bit of a general observation of mine, but I do find it does play a little bit of a role as well. So in terms of carbohydrates, you want to be going for your complex sources. So anything brown, basically. Switch your white things to brown things. Another thing as well that I do tend to see with the forehead is it can link to food allergies. So that's another thing just to be mindful of. Again, it links in with the gut health because usually with food allergies, you will have other accompanying symptoms as well. So yeah, that's another thing also to look out for. And then the other thing also to mention is if people have breakouts on their forehead, but it's a little bit more around the perimeter. It's also like shampoos and conditioners as well, and like hair products that can sometimes cause that as well. Moving down the face a little bit, so between the eyebrows here, this is what I commonly see linked again actually with allergies. I tend to see it if someone has not even just an allergy, but maybe an intolerance. So if they've overindulged in, like say someone has an intolerance to dairy or intolerance to gluten and they've overindulged, I tend to see it comes up in that middle of the brow area. Also, this is known to be linked with the liver function as well. So if you have poor liver function, it can be seen in this area as well. Right, cheeks. This is quite a big one because there's lots of different things that I see affect the cheeks. This is the area of your respiratory system. So anything to do with breathing, also seasonal allergies, and like if people have allergies to dust or anything in that sense, which if you're breathing in can affect the cheek area. This has been a real big focus the last year because obviously we've been wearing lots of masks and our whole exposure to oxygen really on our cheek has changed, so people find their skin has been a bit more problematic over the last year. So yeah, think about your respiratory system. Are you a smoker? That can affect the breakouts on the cheek. Also, pollution, things like that can play a role as well. That's where a really good cleansing routine at the end of the day will come in and be very beneficial. Another thing to also look out for on the cheek, so if it's kind of more towards the bottom of the cheek here, check your dental health. It's very common for people to actually have issues with their dental hygiene, or maybe it's even the toothpaste they're using that can actually be causing some of the breakouts on the cheek. So that's another thing to check, is your toothpaste and obviously your dental hygiene in general. Other things which play a role with this cheek area is just general hygiene, so like changing your pillowcase. I recommend changing it twice a week. That is what I tend to do, and I also rotate the pillow as well, so you kind of always sleep on a clean side as well, so that could be really beneficial. Telephones, I never call it a telephone, what the hell, I nearly swore then, sorry, I'm trying not to swear. Phones, like mobile phones, things like that, make sure they're clean so they're not harvesting bacteria if you're on them a lot. Other things also, there was another one that came to my mind, oh, the hands touching. So it's a really common area for us to touch our face, especially if I've got my elbow up on a desk here, so if I lean on it, for example, it's an easy area to touch. And the other thing we have to be wary of now actually is wearing these masks. Obviously the mask hygiene is one thing in itself actually, so obviously making sure you wash your mask and the hygiene there. But also when you're touching and adjusting your mask, you actually can kind of touch the face a lot as well, so just being careful with that. Going into more internal things, if someone is sensitive to dairy, I usually see it affects their cheeks the most. That is the area I tend to see is linked with dairy the most, and a little bit on the chin as well, but definitely the cheeks. And sugar. Sugar I find plays a big link with the cheeks, so balancing blood sugar levels, looking at your sugar intake, you know, how many fruits you're eating, fruit as well. If someone is maybe eating like 5 portions of fruit a day, that could be sensitizing their skin a bit and causing some of the blemishes. So yeah, this is kind of a dairy and sugar area I tend to see. Balancing your blood sugar levels, honestly, it does you the world of good for your skin. And actually to throw in, I mentioned this actually in my original video and I still stick with it now, is I always see the 2 fruits that really affect the cheek, I tend to see is bananas and mangoes. Now obviously it's not going to be for everyone, like some people are going to be absolutely fine and can eat those no problem, but I do come across the odd people here and there who really are sensitive to those 2 fruits, and it might be the sugar content in them, but it tends to show up in the cheeks, so that's always something to be mindful of. I think bananas is a particular fruit people get into the habit of having it every single day, and you know, that could be something that maybe is just tipping your body a little bit over the edge. If anyone has issues with breakouts on the jawline, chin and kind of neck area, and also can link to the body and back, like the back separate to the body, lol. But yeah, if you have issues with body and these areas, then hormones is definitely the first port of call. I would really recommend seeing someone to have a look at your hormone balance and also just help you support that. This is where seeing a naturopathic nutritionist can be really beneficial, because they can not only help you with that, but they can identify any of the imbalances in the body, because hormones are so sensitive. Like some people, I feel like, come to me thinking it's just their hormones they need to focus on, but I need to explain to them actually so many other imbalances in the body actually link to your hormones, like your blood sugar levels, even your neurological function, even your fatty acid imbalances can play with your hormones. Yeah, it's really a multifactorial thing with hormones. So yeah, seeing a specialist can really, really help and get you back on track. If you're interested in working with me personally, I am taking on clients at the moment, so you can have a one-to-one consultation with me. I'll leave my website on the screen right now and all the details in the description box below. And you can actually also organise a free 20-minute discovery call if you just want to chat and see if it is the right route for you, which is always a really good starting point. And then the other thing to mention with this area is also detoxification of the body, looking at your detoxification pathways. Especially with body acne actually as well, is this is a big focus, making sure that your liver's working, your gut health's working, like as in your elimination, because your skin is a pathway for elimination. So if those things aren't working properly, you will eliminate through your skin as well. That's quite common with the body in particular. And your diet can obviously play a role as well, because your diet obviously is very tightly and very sensitively connected with hormones as well, so that does play a role. Oh, one more thing I actually also forgot to mention, and this ties into the cheeks, but also I see it with the jaw and neckline as well, is stress. Stress is also a big factor. So, you know, ask yourself, you know, what's your stress load like? Is there things you can do to help it? You know, also look at ways to help to manage your stress, you know, coping techniques, whether that is doing breathing exercises, whether that's journaling to get your thoughts out of your head, going to talk to someone, whether that's a friend or actually going to see someone like a therapist to, you know, help release. You know, stress is a really important thing that I think gets overlooked quite a lot of the time, and we kind of just keep suppressing it, but actually that can play a big role with the skin as well. So that is what I'm going to leave it at today's video. These are honestly the most common things that I see in correlation to where acne comes up on the face. So I hope today's video has helped. If you have any questions, then do let me know. I post videos every Wednesday and Sunday at 5 PM, so if you aren't subscribed already, make sure you click that button and come join the channel. But anyway, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.